Bridget inherited her grandfather's business and was excited to run it until a man appeared, claiming to have proof that he had come up with the original idea for the company. Bridget had to find evidence that it wasn't true, but it all depended on an old greeting card. Bridget, I'm telling you, Salazar has a legitimate claim to the business. It's going to get dicey. Mr. Sandberg urged Bridget to listen, but she was skeptical. Please, Isaac, a photo of an old greeting card? That could take away my grandfather's company? At the very least. Bridget, this will cause a scandal, and the stocks will drop. This is not how you want to start your time as the leader of this company. He continued seriously. This man wants to sue for part of the business. And of course, he wants compensation too. But there's something weird about this photo. I mean, I vaguely recall something about my grandfather writing the idea on a greeting card, but I wouldn't even know where to start finding it. Grandpa had many homes, and who knows if he kept it at all, Bridget said. Also, the photo that man sent you seems off. Somehow, like photoshopped or something. Bridget, the solution is to try to find this greeting card, no matter how hard you have to look for it. It's solid proof of everything. I will do what I can, and I doubt he'll win. But we don't want anything to stain your leadership, Mr. Sandberg added. That's why he's doing this. Probably a jealous, old coworker who hated that your grandfather got successful. But maybe he was afraid of trying this antic until Mr. Laurier died. Please, find it. Bridget still thought the idea was absolutely insane. Her grandfather passed away, and she immediately inherited his shares, becoming CEO. However, as soon as her appointment was announced, a man appeared out of the blue with this proof that he had come up with the business himself. However, that proof was only a picture of an old greeting card. He said he had the original card hidden, but something in Bridget's gut told her he was lying. Otherwise, he would have sued years ago. The business had been making millions for a long time. Bridget knew that her lawyers would try to squash everything, but this man could ruin her public image, and it was a PR nightmare, which, like it or not, would affect their stock prices. She needed to get to the bottom of it, so she called her mother and grandmother, who gathered all the staff they could to start the search immediately. They had maids, butlers, and even staff at the office going through boxes and boxes of old paperwork and letters. Bridget also joined the search because they had to look through years of memories in her late grandfather's 3 homes. She found a letter. It seems to be a love letter, the maid noted. Well, it's more like a farewell letter, but it says, I wish I had never given you this card. Bridget looked at the details. The letter looked like a farewell letter, and whoever wrote it was not happy with her grandfather's work. Apparently, he was dating a woman and was so busy with work that they broke up. I want to find this woman. She turns the letter over in her hands. Fortunately, there was the return address and the full name of the woman who wrote it, Angelica. Oh, dear. I can't believe he kept that letter. The old woman stared at the paper which Bridget had taken out long after she had explained her dire plight. Please, Mrs., I want to know everything about that card. Make no mistake, my dear, your grandfather came up with this idea on his own. He wrote it on the Christmas card I gave him. We were in a restaurant, and that was his eureka moment. He couldn't stop, Angelica explained, but her eyes became sad. Unfortunately, I lost him for that job that day. Do you have any idea where my grandfather could have kept that card? I mean, since he kept your letter, he could have kept it too, right? Angelica asked. Have you tried the house in Palo Verde? A house in Palo Verde? I didn't know he had one. My grandpa's house in California is far from there, and we actually looked at the ones in Vegas and Aspen. Angelica said, look, I don't know if he sold it. We were living there. We were going to build a life together before he had that idea, and I decided I couldn't be with someone who prioritized work. This house is your best chance if he never sells it. Can you give me the exact address? She was able to get the keys from her grandmother's house. She walked around the house, looking at everything and taking it all in. This was her grandfather's possible afterlife. He was going to marry someone else and live a simple life in the suburbs. She looks at the only painting in the master bedroom. I might not be here if he hadn't come up with that idea. It was askew for some reason, and I went to fix it. But instead of doing that, she removed the frame. She turned it over in her hands. She didn't know why, but there was an instinct telling her to do so, and there was an envelope stuck to the back of the plate. Call Mr. Sandberg, she said, adjusting her jacket and fixing her hair. We will fight this stupid lawsuit and we will win. she said. Her confidence returned. She had the proof of her company in her hands, and nothing was going to take her legacy away. Despite the evidence being presented to Mr. Salazar, he continued to file suit. However, her firm's list of the best lawyers in the country proved that he had doctored the image and, in the end, was unable to produce an authentic copy. The case was dismissed, and the public barely heard about it. Bridget started her drive vigorously, making sure to save the birthday greeting in a safe place. What can we learn from this story? Always keep essential papers where you can find them easily. Bridget's late grandfather should have kept that birthday card near him or in a safe to prevent what happened after he died. Many evil people in the world will lie and cheat to get their way, but honesty will always prevail. Bridget and her employees managed to find the evidence they need so that the truth comes out and no one tries to take over her company.